Imagine you are a crew member aboard a spacecraft. Beyond the safety of the hull lay a hostile wilderness, devoid of oxygen and home to a deadly mix of photons and cosmic rays. That's the thinking behind an old philosophy to which the COVID-19 pandemic has breathed new life. It's called Spaceship Earth. Here's the idea. We're all hurtling through space together with no escape capsule. So planetary problems have to be addressed. For everyone's sake, there's no choice. Coronavirus is the worst crisis of our lifetime, affecting every country, every race, every ethnicity. More than 10 million are now infected that we know of. More than 500,000 have died. The pandemic has devastated economies and health systems alike, but it may have also given us a rare opportunity to fix our ship. For years, nationalism has been on the rise. Us versus them, the battle cry. The status quo brought on by racial inequality, endless failed wars, free trade, and advances in technology dislocating many in the working and middle classes have embittered all of those left behind. Jet-setting elites who praise multinationals while rejecting those at home have made globalism a dirty word. And as a result, anti-establishment votes have grown across the globe. The old world order, embodied in organizations like the United Nations and the WHO, has continued to erode. But here's the problem. When a truly global crisis emerges, like coronavirus, humanity needs those well-funded problem solvers operating across borders, because without them, the virus can more easily spread. Without global leadership, governments and their politicians who use the virus for political point scoring fare far worse. While caseloads are exploding in Brazil, more than a quarter of the known deaths have occurred right here in the United States. Meanwhile, basic protections like masks have become American political fodder, pitting neighbors against neighbors.
Where do you derive the authority to regulate human breathing?
But those leaders who instead opted for a science-based approach, early and aggressively, have best contained the outbreak so far. That's particularly true in New Zealand, where Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern celebrated her country's lack of transmission following strict lockdown orders.
I did a little dance.
That approach, the science, not the dancing, is the opportunity.
The most urgent invention in the world right now is a vaccine that prevents you from getting COVID-19.
The world has never produced a vaccine in less than 4 years. We're now hoping to do it in just one. More than 130 vaccine projects are now underway, 11 in clinical trials. And if just one of them succeeds, and those like the Gates Foundation and the United Nations come out on top, there will be a new story to tell. The planet coming together to save itself in record time, renewing faith in global institutions and offering a valuable lesson for future crises. But it's not enough to just create the vaccine. Once you get it, you got to get it to everyone. If not, due to cost or due to access, it could further divide us. Then there's the question of education. I mean, if wearing a mask can turn political, what are the chances for a syringe? Those anti-vaxxers are still out there. Still, if we're going to repair our spaceship, we need a new story about our planet. And the fight against coronavirus may prove the best chance we have.